We're delighted to introduce Rita, who is the pet transport manager. Is that the right title, Rita? From Global International Removals, but also is a qualified vet in her own right. And Rita's here tonight to tell us not only about transporting pets, but about pet care in general in Portugal and answer your questions about how to look after your best friends and all of that. So that's it. Without further ado, over to you, Carl and Rita, to get the show off the ground, please.
Thank you very much, Jerry. We have Rita here with Happy. You have your dog Happy with you tonight, don't you, Rita?
Just let me. He's
here
okay, right now.
Introductions.
I will show you.
Come on, Happy. Oh, it doesn't look very happy at the moment. Hello, Happy. Hi there. Oh, look at Happy there. How lovely. And I understand very protective of you. So we might hear Happy barking from time to time on the call tonight. We also have Ken with Finn, Ify, and soon to be Rory. Good evening to you, Ken. Beryl has a 5-year-old King Charles Spaniel. Rahana, beg your pardon. That Beryl is the 5-year-old King Charles Spaniel. This is going to be confusing tonight, isn't it? Who are the humans and who are the pets? Because so many pets have human names now, don't they? Lisa and Ted in Arizona with Maggie, the miniature golden doodle. Good evening to you. And Carol from hello from Twyla or Twyla, I'm going to go with my kitty and me. And Max and Abby are here with Taisa, but they're very camera shy. That's fair enough. So I imagine we'll see other pets on the screen this evening. Nunu with Cat Nala as well. Good evening to you, Nunu. And Linda in Santa Fe with Dante. Fantastic name. Our dogs are Neve and Nico. That's Angela saying hello tonight as well. So Rita, I understand you have a small presentation for us. And we'll ask people to fire the questions into the chat, and I'll keep an eye on those to make sure we have a good Q&A and get everybody's questions answered after you've told us about yourself, what you do at GIR, and how they can bring their pets over to Portugal. But not only that, what to expect once they've arrived here. So Rita, great to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm now going to show my screen. Here, can you see?
I can see you start. There we go. We can see a presentation now. Yeah, global pets.
Yeah. Okay, can you see, right?
Yeah, perfect. Our work tells our history. Over to you.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Rita. I am a veterinarian and I am pets team manager in Global Pets, a department of Global International Relocation. And today I'm here to speak to you about the basis of pet care in Portugal. But first, I will let you know a little bit of my work. And as I am a vet, but I am specialized in international pet transportation. So, Global Pets is a specialized animal transportation department. There is a department of the Global International Relocation Company. At Global Pets, we are aware of the importance that pets have in our lives. Therefore, in each transport, we put into practice all of our knowledge, commitment, and experience, so the trip goes as smoothly, safely, and humanely as possible. Our team, it's me and Patricia, is also a vet, and our drivers that take care of your pets while we go with them to the vet, or we transport them from or to the airports here in Portugal. So, to travel with your pets, you will need some documentation and veterinary requirements. To arrive in Portugal, the pets will need a microchip and a valid rabies vaccination. And these requirements are for all the countries in the world. The rabies vaccination does not must precede the microchip introduction date. So the microchip must go first, and then you do the rabies vaccination. However, it can be done in the same day, okay? So if the pet has his first rabies vaccination, you will need to wait 21 days to be able to travel to Portugal. They will also need an official health certificate if you come from countries outside of Europe. Inside of Europe, you all need an European pet passport, okay? So this official health certificate is normally done by your vet, is endorsed by your local authorities in your country. From other countries, like countries that the rabies is an endemic disease, is not a country free of rabies, the pets will need to be tested for a rabies test, like Brazil or some African countries. For leaving Portugal, the requirements are almost the same, but it depends on the country that you are going. So the microchip, the rabies, that is the basis for the travels. That is a requirement for almost all the countries in the world. And we have some countries like New Zealand and Australia that are the most difficult countries to get our pets in, because there is a lot of vet requirements, and instead of all the requirements the pets must be done, they will need to have a quarantine once they arrive at the country. A quarantine that is not in our home, but in the official government facilities. Okay, so we have other factors besides veterinary requirements to have in mind. It is known that brachycephalic dogs have some irregularities in their airways. So it's called the brachycephalic obstructive wear syndrome, and are often at higher risk during air travel than the other breeds. Most of the airlines do not accept these breeds, and in these cases we usually use Lufthansa. But during the summertime, it's not possible to do the transportation of these breeds, the snow-nosed breeds. And even if in the winter or in the spring, if the temperature rises over 27 degrees Celsius, the transportation will not be possible. This is because of their obstructions in their airways, make them more suitable for heat problems. So also all pets will have access to food and water, and we always work with the best airlines that ensure the safety of our pets. The kennels used for transportation are appropriate containers. These containers must be designed to ensure the safety and welfare of the animals during transport. It must be strong, it must be durable, and able to withstand the rigors of air transportation. But if you are traveling with global pets, we always make sure that the containers are appropriate to travel, for your pets to travel. So now I'm going to stop talking about the pet transportation, but I want to share with you some hours transportation. So you can see this is Neo. Neo arrived from Atlanta in the US to Lisbon early this year. We have some concerns about his relocation because Neo is a pitbull, and it is one of the breeds considered dangerous breeds here in Portugal. And some of the airlines do not allow these breeds to be transported. And even if the ones that accept them have some special requirements, you can see here in this picture that his travel kennel, it's not a plastic one, it's aluminium one, because these pets have more strength than normal breeds, and the airline will require a stronger cage or kennel for them to travel. But at the end, he arrived safely, and he's happy to be reunited with his owner. This is Azeitona. Azeitona was a 13-year-old girl traveling from Portugal to Brazil. Due to her age, we have used a direct flight from Lisbon to Brazil in the nighttime, where the temperatures are colder for them, to guarantee that everything worked well. And she is an old lady, but she's happy now with her owners in Brazil. And last one, we have Luna and Finn. They arrived in Lisbon from Washington. Here you can see our team pick them up at the airport. I have received a call from their owner saying that her flight has been canceled and she would not arrive on time to pick up the pets at the airport. But I was said to her, do not worry, we take care of them. So we collect them, and here you can see they went to our boarding facility. We take care of them the whole night, and her owner arrived next morning, and then next morning we delivered him at home. And that this is their reaction when they arrive home. So very happy. It was a hot day, and Luna just swim in the pool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. And you don't have to have a pool. That's not part of the law in Portugal. You don't have to have a pool for your dog when it arrives, do you?
No.
No, just checking.
Yeah, it's just for the ones that really like it, but it's not mandatory. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about pet care here in Portugal. And when I say pet, I mean dogs and cats, really. I don't want to overlook the other pets, but they are far away my area of expertise or knowledgement. So I'm going to approach cats and dogs here, okay? So what do I need to have a pet in Portugal? It's mandatory for all cats, dogs, and ferrets to be microchipped and registered in SIAC. What is SIAC? SIAC is the Portuguese database of the microchips, where your pet microchip is recorded, and if he gets lost, we can identify him with this database. This database, normally all the vets in the country have access, and they can see the owner, the contact, the email, the address, everything is in there. So the registration in this database, it's mandatory. Okay, it's not recommended, but it is really, really important. And I will talk a little bit about the law here, and you can see it's really mandatory here to have your pets registered in this database. So for all the dogs, the rabies vaccination is also mandatory, okay? And for the rabies vaccination to be mandatory, that was the only way most countries in the world could do to be rabies free. Okay, we know that some countries are not rabies free because the rabies vaccination on dogs, it's not mandatory. Okay, so here in European Union, all the countries, the dogs must have a rabies. But in the other countries in South America and Africa, the pets only have if the owner wanted. And then you have some cases of rabies time to time. So also here, the pets must have their vaccination book. Their vaccination book is this one. This one. Once you get to the vet in Portugal and have any vaccination, if you do not ask for a passport, they will give you this vaccination book. Okay, this vaccination book is have also a unique number for each pet that is going to be also in SIAC database of the pets. Okay. So, and the recommended things for your pets here in Portugal are the other vaccinations available here, internal and external deworming, and the registration in your parish council, that is Junta de Freguesia. I will talk about these 3 topics more now. So, the law here. So, what do we have? The rabies vaccination, as I said, it's mandatory, and failure to have the rabies vaccination duly certified on the pet vaccination book or passport constitutes an infraction, and the fine could be between 50 to almost 400 euros. Okay. Also, the microchip, as I said, in SIAC, it's the same thing, but not only for dogs, but cats and ferrets too. Okay, they must be identified with a microchip until they are 4 months old, and after that, their microchip is implanted, the vet will register them in this database, and if not, the fine can also be between 50 to 400 euros. Okay.
Can I just clarify that with you, Rita? On the screen there, it's between 50 and 3,750, right?
Yeah,
so
almost 4,000. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, and I thought I'd misheard you earlier on, and I wasn't sure if you'd said dogs, cats, and parrots, but it's actually ferrets. So ferrets being a fairly popular pet here in Portugal. Do you have many ferrets coming in from other parts of the world?
No.
So that's just it's just a popular. Okay, so it's a hunting pet here over here in Portugal.
It's really it's now becoming popular. It's now becoming popular here, and as it is a pet that it's a hunting pet. The rabies in ferrets can be also a disease for us. So they can also have the rabies vaccination, but it's not mandatory. But the microchip and the registration in the database, it's mandatory. But it is like no policeman is going to your door to see if your pet if your pet does not come out of your house. Nobody is going to there to do inspection of your pet's documentation. But that what was I am going to show you. This is the law. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. Have you got further slides to share with us? I think you might have frozen up. Linda, I see you've got a question to ask. I'll come back to you in just a moment if we're just going to make sure we've got Rita with us still. You look like you might have frozen there, Rita. Okay. Let me just, if you tell me your question, Linda. Oh, Rita is back with us now. Sorry, Rita, you seem to freeze up there. Carry on.
Yeah. Okay. But someone have a question? I can answer it.
Linda, do you need to ask that at this moment? Is it to do with these particular laws? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We need you unmuted as well.
Look at microchip and registration in SIAC, and the first sentence there, it says the dog, cats, and ferrets must be identified with a microchip and registered until they are 120 days old. Do you mean before?
Yeah.
Rather than until?
That's right, Rita. It's like you've got to get the microchip before that date, haven't you?
Okay,
or
thank
before
you.
That age.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification,
if
Linda.
they are born here, if they come from the outside, once you arrive here, you don't have to go to the vet like the next day if your pets arrive here in Portugal. But if they born here, you have until they are 4 months old to do the microchip implanted.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for that clarification, Linda and Rita. Thank you so much. Back to you, Rita.
Okay, so as I'm saying, and in the case of dogs, it is also necessary for the owner to pay for an annual license at the local parish or town hall, the Junta de Freguesia. However, if the animal is registered in SIAC database, the owner is exempt from the license for 1 year and only has to go to the parish council after 1 year from the day of the registration, with the exception of the dangerous or potentially dangerous dogs that need to be registered once they have the SIAC registration. I don't know if I was clear on this, but I am going to talk about a little bit of these dangerous and considered dangerous breeds here in Portugal. So potential dangerous dogs are dogs of these following breeds: Brazilian Fila Dog, Dog Argentino, Pitbull Terrier, Rottweiler, American Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and Tosa Inu. This is the list that are in the law in Portugal for the potential dangerous category dogs. Okay. And the difference between a potential dangerous dog and a dangerous dog, it's a dangerous dog has bitten, attacked, or harmed the body of a healthy person, has serious injured or killed another animal outside the property owned by its keeper, has been voluntarily declared by its keeper to the parish council in his area of residence to have an aggressive character and behavior, or has been considered by the competent authority to be a risk to the safety of people or animals due to its aggressive behavior or physiological specificity. Okay, so a dangerous dog can be any breed of dog. Okay, it does not have to be a breed of the potentially dangerous category. Okay. And this is the difference between the potential dangerous and the dangerous. In the Portuguese law, I have the little law here in the bottom. This is the difference. But this list of breeds, you need to go to your parish to register them, because they will need to have a license to be here in Portugal. So let's talk now about the dogs vaccinations here in Portugal. As I said many times before, the rabies vaccination is mandatory. So I think no doubts about this one. The recommended core annual vaccinations for our dogs protects the pet against 4 deadly diseases that are canine distemper, canine hepatitis, canine parvovirosis, and leptospirosis. Some studies have shown that this vaccination resulted in levels of antibodies that were sufficient to protect against canine distemper virus and canine adenovirus. The percentage of dog with protect levels of antibodies for parvovirus ranged between 73 and 100%, and for the other diseases between 59 to 96% of antibodies against the diseases. The optional vaccinations that we have here for our dogs in Portugal are the kennel cough vaccination. This vaccination is important to protect dogs against the flu virus and the flu bacteria. This vaccine is important for dogs that are in dogs' daycares and pet hotels, because that is the environment where this disease is circulating more. Okay, so it is important if you have your pet in a daycare or a pet hotel, and some of the pet hotels here in Portugal require this vaccination for your pet to stay there. Okay. We also have the leishmaniasis vaccination. The leishmaniasis is an endemic disease here in Portugal, whose prevalence have almost doubled in the last 10 years. So it was 12.3% in 2009 and to 12.5% in 2021. Okay, so the leishmaniasis vaccine does not stop the pet to catch the disease, but prevents some of the clinical signs, lowers the mortality rate, and reduces the risk of infection between the dogs. And the last one, we have the Babesia canis. Babesia is a blood parasite that can cause the famous tick fever, with other blood parasites that our dog can catch from ticks. So, no less important, our kittens now. The recommended core vaccinations, the annual vaccination protects our cats between for panleukopenia, herpes virus, and calicivirus. These diseases, two of them is respiratory diseases like the flu, and the other one is it gives our it's like for the dogs the parvoviruses, like bloody diarrhea, nauseas, and our cat can also have that disease, but is not called the parvoviruses. So here in Portugal, the optional vaccinations for cats, it's the rabies vaccination. It's not mandatory for cats. It is only required if you want to travel with your cat. Even to Spain, if in the border they will ask for the pet documentation, you need to have a pet passport with a valid rabies vaccination for your cats. And also the leukemia vaccination here in Portugal for the cats. So I always strongly advise to all pet owners to do a regular internal and external deworming. Here in Portugal, we have all types of internal parasites, like roundworms and tapeworms. These parasites can cause intestinal inflammation, colic, and diarrhea. And in serious inflammation can cause obstructions, because when these worms grow bigger and bigger, they can do like a ball of worms and be stuck in the intestines of our pet and cause intestinal obstructions. So this is the protocol I recommend. Okay. But it always depends on the lifestyle of your pet. If you have a cat that never leaves home, I recommend instead of every 3 months, maybe every 4 months, because even if they do not have access to the outside, we can bring some parasite eggs with us, for example, in our shoes from the street. Okay, so before the 3 months, we do every 2 weeks treatment, from 3 to 6 months old monthly, and after the 6 months, every 3 months or 4 months, depending on the lifestyle of the pet. Also, now the external deworming. Okay. Here in Portugal, and almost I think now every country is due to the global warming and changes in the weather, we have fleas and ticks all over the year. And we have the endemic disease called the leishmaniasis, as I said, that is caused by a parasite that is carried out by a phlebotomist, that it is like a mosquito. So the only way to prevent your dog to catch this disease is to use external pipettes or a collar to repel the mosquito. The pills are more effective against fleas and ticks than the pipettes and the collars, but have no effect on the mosquitoes because the dog will ingest the pill and it will not have any repellents on the mosquito. So the protocols for the external deworming really depends on the brand that you are using for your pets. For the mosquito, I always advise to do a pipette or a collar. Pipettes normally have to be every month. The collar can have a protection between 4 to 8 months, depending on the brand of the collar. The pills I recommend when, you know, some of the pipettes that are longer in the market, it's not very effective because the parasites have some resistance to the substance. So the pills are more effective against the ticks and the fleas. So if your pets catch any flea or any tick, I will advise you to give him a pill, but not to don't give him the collar or the pipette for the mosquito, for the leishmaniasis. Okay. And I think that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. I hope I have talked a little bit here about the basis of the situation here.
Absolutely, Rita. Yeah, very thorough, very informative. Thank you very much indeed. I'm sure people have learned a lot this evening, and we have questions as well to clarify a few things. So thank you very much indeed for your presentation so far. Let's get into a few more introductions, actually, because we have a few more pets to introduce and some serious questions to ask of you as well. Where did we get to? Did we meet Murphy yet? I don't think we did. Janet is in Colorado with Murphy, and Rosalind has a Labrador called Thor, the Norse god of thunder, and he barks like that too, apparently, as well. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie, with Cocky and Pepper as well. And we had, Dante, of course, with Linda in Santa Fe. we've got some great testimonials as well for you, working with you, Rita, and Global International Relocation. I used Global for my move to Portugal last year, says Carol. I ultimately brought my cat with me in cabin on the flight, but Global is awesome. And everything worked out beautifully with no issues whatsoever. Lovely to hear that. Thank you. Laurie, I know, has questions and is here tonight from Arizona with 2 pups, Abby, a Ken/Chihuahua. Or should I say Chihuahua? That's probably the correct pronunciation, isn't it? A mix there, 5-year-old and 9 pounds, an ebony, long-haired Dachshund / Italian Greyhound, and 6 years old at 16 pounds there. Amazing. Thank you very much. That's very thorough, Laurie. Andrea here, owner of a cat, Emily, who always stars in Zoom meetings. Yes, what is it with cats? You didn't talk about that, Rita, how it is that cats love to be part of Zoom meetings. We might come back to that. Owner of Emily is Andrea, who does like to be in a Zoom meeting, but only when not invited. So tonight she is invited, and true to cat DNA, is refusing to attend. Maybe we'll see Emily later. Walking and listening with my big boy Monty is the name of Ben's hound. Thank you, Ben, for being here tonight. Good to see you here. Peda here, but having problems with the camera. I think you've got 1 or 2 dogs, if I remember rightly, Peda. Quite a few double figures, if I remember rightly. Allah from Texas, from Barack, will be in the country Wednesday. Any other milestones to celebrate or good news like this from Barack? Coming over to Portugal next Wednesday. We're finally making the move. Well done, Barack. My dog, a boxer mix. This is a question for you, Rita, the first question. Boxer mix and nose is not smushed. Yumiko's words, not mine. Will she still be considered as short nosed? So I guess it's about the breed, not the particular dog, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the breed. It always depends on the certificates of the pets, on the rabies certificate or the microchip certificate. But a boxer is considered a snow breed for the airlines. Yes.
Yeah, so there you go, Yumiko. It can't be to do with the dog. It's what the airlines have as the breed. So do you fly directly from, say, Texas to Portugal, says Barak? If so, what airlines? Is the flight non-stop, direct? Also, my understanding, most airlines will not fly pets any longer unless they can fit under the seat. Let's go into that question there. So the first bit, say Texas to Portugal. How would you help Barak in this instance, Rita?
Yeah, Texas to Portugal, there are no direct flights because, as I know, United is not doing pet transportation at the moment. And for direct flights, we use TAP, the Portuguese airline, and they only have direct flights from Washington, Miami, New York, Boston, Chicago, and I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The best airline in the world for pets to travel, it's Lufthansa.
Is it? Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, they will have a stop in Frankfurt, but Frankfurt airport does have a boarding facilities for pets. Not only dogs and cats, but horses, exotic animals, and all kind of animals. Yeah, Lufthansa is the safest airline for your pet to travel. Also, as I said, pet travel, I'm talking about cargo pet travel.
Yeah. Okay. And that's but the other part of the question is that also my understanding, says Barak, most airlines will not fly pets any longer unless they can fit under the seat. That's not true, is it? I mean, there is the cargo option.
Yeah. That is the cargo option. In the cabin, the pets need to have the maximum 8 kilograms already with the crate.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Deborah, I'll come back to you. We will pause and stop the recording later. So anybody who wants to ask a more personal question and doesn't want to be on camera for the recorded part of the webinar that will go on YouTube, maybe ask later. But if you're happy to be immortalized on the internet, you're welcome to ask a question in just a moment. Jose Cruz, good evening to you, Jose. Good to have you here. We used Global Pets to transport our 5-year-old Golden and our 13-year-old Louisiana Catahoula rescue, another old lady there, or old gentleman. They flew on a connecting flight to Lisbon through Brussels. We were on a non-stop from Washington, D.C. to Lisbon and would arrive in the morning, and so able to pick them up 8 hours later. At the last minute, TAP cancelled our overnight flight, which meant our dogs would arrive in Lisbon before we could arrive. That sounds stressful. They immediately assigned us a case manager, and they were great, says Jose. We then had them delivered directly to our home. They did a great job. That's talking about GIR there. So muito obrigado to you, Rita and team. Just saw, I was just writing my compliments when I saw Luna and Finnegan being featured. We cannot recommend this company enough. How about that this evening? Thanks, Jose, for that. Are there the same requirements from Ben here? Are the same requirements for local animals or just those importing? You were talking about Portuguese law there, weren't you? So it is the same. Effectively, you're under Portuguese law when you get here. So it's the same whether you're Portuguese or a foreigner coming into Portugal, right, Rita?
Yes, it is the same. It is the same.
All right, thank you. As you say, there's Barak, you're getting help from Jose as well. That's fantastic. Thank you, Jose, for being so helpful in the chat. Yumiko, do you have a referral recommended vets in other cities besides Lisbon? Our dogs will be coming to Porto. Thank you. So can you help with Porto?
Yes. Yes, I can answer to you all the recommended vets in every part of the countries. I several have more connection here in Lisbon as I live here.
Yeah.
But yes, I can share my contact with you guys and ask that. I don't know here by head the name of my colleagues in Porto, but I will send you the contacts in the end. I can share my contact and be in touch with you.
Oh, that's great for you, Mika. Thanks, Rita, for that. Pedro, I'll come back to you as well with your question. You might want to ask that yourself. If you adopt a pet from a shelter in Portugal, are the bureaucratic items already taken care of, or is it the new owner that has to take care of the items? It depends on the shelter, doesn't it, Rita, how much they do for you?
Yeah, it really depends on the shelter, and it depends on the age of the dog. If
Okay.
you are going to adopt a puppy, some of the requirements might not have done. But if you adopt older pets, I assume that all the requirements have been done, because it is the law, and the shelters, they have inspections, not in your house, but the pet hotels, the veterinarian, and the shelters have inspections, so they have to all have all the paperwork in there.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you for that, for Carol there. I'll ask a couple more, then come to you, Deborah. Laurie, how and when do you register for SIAC? Sorry if I missed the previous info, as I had a delivery. So just to clarify on that and reiterate that, Rita, how soon do you have to do this, the registration with SIAC when you get here?
Yeah, it is. The registration is made in the veterinary appointment, a regular vet, and I say it is not mandatory to go straight after you arrive. You can settle in, be with your pets, and when you have time, go to the vets. They will advise you in everything you need to do. But I recommend like maximum 1 month after arrival.
And you make a good point there, because, you know, it's stressful for everybody coming over, isn't it? Including the pets.
Yeah,
And maybe it is good to take a little break, a breather, get everyone accustomed and settled in the new place, and then think about that, rather than doing all those stressful things all in one go. Good point there. Thank you, Rita. Barak, the potential dangerous dog, is that a pure breed or a mix? I think your table basically went through that, and if it's a mix, it would apply to the right hand column, wouldn't it? The behavior would refer to the behavior of the dog rather than those prescribed breeds. Did you want to add anything to that question? Is it?
Yes, the potential dangerous breeds dogs, it also applied for mixed
Okay.
dogs.
All right, so it's a clarification for Barak there. Deborah, please unmute and go ahead and ask your question.
Can you hear me?
I can. Excellent.
Thank you. I have a wolf hybrid, a macaw, and a Maine Coon cat.
Wow, that's quite a menagerie, isn't it? What a special collection you have there.
And I live in Denver, Colorado, so there's no direct flight. And the idea of having them all in cargo, because I'm definitely, my dog is going to be way too big to be a passenger. I'm just wondering about taking a boat or something if I don't want to put them in cargo. Is there another option other than, because it just seems inhumane. I know people do it, but.
Rita, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, as a vet and as a mom dog, as I am, before I specialized in the international pet transportation, I would think that way. But only the safest airlines do cargo animal transportation. No low-cost airline do animal transportation in cargo, and the cargo compartment for pets, it's different than the cargo or the bags and everything. It's a specialized compartment only for pets. Cats and dogs are separated because of behavior issues. It is controlled by the temperature, light, and pressure. The only thing they cannot control on the aircraft is the noise. The noise in the cargo, it's the same that we hear in the cabin, and it is the only thing that they cannot control in pets compartment. I work in this area, and we not have any kind of problem, any casualty for the pets traveling cargo. But the option you have is to fly in a private jet. I know that there are some companies that allow for you to travel in a private jet. They do small routes direct to Lisbon. I don't know if Colorado is one of them, but I think from New York there is, and they gather several families that do not want to bring their pets in cargo, and they bring the pets on the
Yeah.
plane with you.
Rita, we actually spoke to one of those companies, and they are in the Expats Portugal business directory, Deborah.
Yeah.
So you can charter a plane to bring from New York. You'd have to get to New York, I believe, as I recall. And we do have a video on that on our YouTube channel at Expats Portugal, and check them out in the business directory. It might be that Jerry or Astrid can help us with a link for that. And you mentioned coming by sea. Do people do that, Rita? Do people come by boat as well with their animals?
No, I have not heard people going on boats with their animals.
That could be a different welfare issue, couldn't it? Because obviously it's a longer route that the animals would be.
Yeah. You know that boat travel for animals only for farm animals. For pets, it's not allowed. For
Is that right?
For welfare reasons, it's not allowed to bring a pet. Not in the cruise or something with the owners, but like in the cargo ships. It's not
okay. All right,
have pets.
But a cruise liner, you might be able to come to an arrangement with.
Yeah. In the cruise line, I don't know what is the politics on cruises about the pets.
Yes.
But...
All right. Okay. You prefer to fly, clearly, and from your own personal knowledge of how well that works. Deborah, did you want to add anything or ask any more?
Wondered about transporting a macaw parrot.
Yeah, parrots. Because we've talked mainly, as you said, Rita, early on, about cats and dogs. What about exotic birds?
Yeah. So here in Global Pets, we only do at the moment dogs and cats. But sorry.
No, don't worry. Happy's adding to the conversation. There's no problem there.
Sorry. Yeah.
I think Happy wants to see parrots. He wants to see parrots added to your offer.
So parrots is also in cargo. Okay. And it's some regulations about exotic birds coming into Portugal. It depends on the origin country, but they also travel in cargo.
I mean, maybe you covered this, and I'll stop it. For like a 20-hour flight, do they get fed? Do they have water? Or it just seems so long, but anyway.
Yeah. So when we fly pets over, example, from the US to here, they do 2 flights. So one from the US to the comfort stop in the European Union. We use Lufthansa or KLM. So the stop will be in Frankfurt or Amsterdam. And these 2 airlines have the boarding facilities for pets, as I said. In that boarding facilities, they have veterinary care and specialized trained people to take care of our pets. If we give instructions to give them food or water, or to walk them, they will do so.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I believe that, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Carl's power's gone down. So we'll just wait for a moment for him to come back, but he's just sent me a message saying his power's out.
Oh, God.
And maybe we could get on to the next question. Has anyone got questions they want to put their hand up for? Yes, okay. Okay, we've got Linda. Let's try Linda first. Go for Linda. Okay.
Okay, finally, yes. My dog, with 20 hours, German Shepherd, 20 to 24 hours. He is not friendly with strangers. Can he be fed and watered without somebody opening the crate? And of course, what about defecating and pooping and things like that?
Yeah, for pets that have an aggressive behavior through strangers, what they do is to put their crate in a bigger kennel and open the crates, and they have space to go around. And it's like in the pet hotel, they have that large kennels for the pets. They put the cage inside, and they shut the door, open the crate, and the pet will leave. Okay. If the pet is extremely aggressive, they will not open the crate in any situation. The water, all the crates must travel with a fun. I don't know. I would say in English a funnel to put the water, and they will give water. They don't have to open the crates, and the foods. If it depends on the crate door, okay. But these airlines have specialized trained people to be with the pets, and as I said, they sometimes have exotic pets and zoo pets like tigers and lions and stuff like that. So I think they will handle well aggressive German Shepherd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Mike's got his hand up. Mike, would you like to ask your question, please?
Okay, hi. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I don't know what's wrong with my video, but anyway, so I am finally making the move next week. I'm flying. Yeah, woohoo! Let's see. Maybe I'll see Gilda later to congratulate her on helping me with this. Anyway, so I am taking my dog, and he's a big boy, and it's been the source of so much stress for me. More so than anything else. I mean, I could have walked out and left everything behind, packing, blah, 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 but just him and how long he's going to be in this cage. So I'm leaving from Miami. I'm flying TAP Air. I will arrive on the 24th in Lisbon. And I have a very, very big crate. The first crate that I bought him, I thought it was the biggest one that this company made. I thought it was all cool. And it was sort of borderline, and he was probably still maybe just making it to the edge. So I bought another one. Absolutely gigantic. There's no way that this one can't work. My concerns are, so I'm told my flight leaves at 4:30. I'm told my dog has to be in his crate 5 hours prior to that even. And then, of course, there is going to be the 8.5 to 9 hour flight itself. And then we land at about 5:30 in the morning in Lisbon. And I'm told then we have to wait for a vet office to open at 10 a.m. And then I'm also told that it doesn't mean he's going to be seen at 10 a.m. That I've heard stories where it can take as long as 5 hours after the vet opens. So can you tell me, are any of these things not necessarily just things that I'm hearing, like, does that 5 hour thing, or will it be close to 10 a.m. in your experience? You know, he's going to be in the crate. From what I'm told, he is not going to be let out to be to relieve himself at all. I did hear that in Frankfurt, if I was doing Lufthansa, they would have let him out in Frankfurt, but I also couldn't imagine putting him on another plane to get to Lisbon. So I didn't go that route. I paid more to go directly from Miami, which is fine. And yeah, so anything you can tell me that might relieve some of the stress that I'm going through, you know, as far as water and food and giving him something maybe to relax him a little bit. I know there's certain things that are frowned upon, but I am thinking of CBD or some CBD biscuits or something. One of my vets did give me some trazodone, but I don't know how anything could possibly last that long.
Right, Rita. What do you have to say, Rita? How could we put this owner at ease?
Yeah, so that's true. Okay. The check-in for pets traveling cargo, it's normally 5 to 4 hours previous to the flight. The cut off of the airlines is 4 hours previous to the flight. And this is because the check-in for cargo takes a little longer. So you have to be 5 hours before there. They will need to check all of his documentation, ensure that everything is okay for him to travel. And then live animals cargo is the first thing boarding on the airplane, okay? And that is why they need to be so in advance in the airport. for all the airlines, not just TAP, all the airlines. He will need to have that time in advance there. And here in Lisbon, the veterinary office only opens at 10 a.m. And the vet will see your pets at 10 a.m. or not, but it depends on the number of pets arriving in cargo in Lisbon that day. Okay, so for my experience, customs clearance can take up to like 6 to 8 hours after your pet's arrival, but it always depends on the time that your pet's arrivals. I always advise my clients, if they are doing a direct flight, to arrive between 8 to 2 p.m., 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. because before the veterinary inspection, it could take 2 hours for the vet to receive all the original documentation from the airline. The veterinary inspection is the second step. The third step after the veterinary inspection is the costumes itself. And the fourth step is the warehouse and terminal fees. And then your pet is going to be released. I don't know if you had time to train your pets in East Canal or not. I had some pets arriving yesterday from South Africa, from Johannesburg, and I was there in the airport with their owners, and the pets did not pee or poop on their crates, and as soon as they leave their crates, they relieve themselves. But they were well, and they were really happy to see their owners. It's like sometimes they will to be stuck inside their crates for 24 hours. I'm not going to lie, but yes, that is the real situation. But it is the safest way for pets to travel if you don't have the money to rent a private jet or anything like that. So as I said, it is a stressful situation. You cannot see your pets before the veterinary inspection. You cannot see your pets inside the customs. They will only deliver your pets like if you arrive like 5:30 a.m. the pet is going to be released between like 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think that this is an estimate that I give to my customers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank
and I
you,
think
Rita. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Carl, you're back.
I would like to blame a cat for treading on something here on the, but I had a power cut, as it turns out, here on the Silver Coast, a bit of stormy weather. So apologies for that. And I wonder if the question about, because I think we've got quite a long recording, so I think we should end the recording soon. But I just wanted to cover that general question about the cost of vaccinations that Laurie asked. Were you able to address that, Rita, on the annual cost of the mandatory, recommended, and optional vaccinations there?
Yeah. So the annual recommended vaccination, the medium rate, it's between 40 and 60 euros for the veterinary appointment, including already the vaccination. Okay, it really depends on the vet that you are going, but it's the normal rates are between 40 and 60 euros.
Okay, per type of vaccination.
Yeah.
So you just do the maths on how many you want, and whether you want to go for all of the optional extras or not.
Yeah, it really depends on the vaccinations that you do to your pets. Yeah. Because some of them you cannot give on the same appointment, and some of them you can. And because here in Portugal, normally all the vets do, like if you go to an emergency appointment, you pay like 40 for the appointment. But if you do a vaccination, you will get like 40 the appointment, the consult, already with the vaccination included.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. So I hope that helps, Laurie. I think we should stop the recording there and we'll go to all the questions where people have got their hands up to ask the more specific and personal questions. Rita, really wonderful, informative, and very thorough presentation tonight. So thank you very much for being here from Global International Relocation. If people want to get in touch with you and learn more, get a quote, speak to you directly, you can be found in the Expats Portugal business directory, of course. So thank you very much for the time being.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here. It was a pleasure to help. And I'm here to answer all the questions you may have about your pet while here in Portugal, or if you want to transport them to Portugal.